Going. We are live, everybody.
It says live.
Welcome.
Let's
to
go.
The Instigators. We're here. Welcome to the Instigators Hockey Show. 15 years running. Over that way. That is Chris Kostopoulos, great NHL defenseman. A decade in the NHL, right?
Yeah, give or take a few games.
All right, we'll go a decade. And to the bottom,
I started my 10th year.
The bottom, the pizza connoisseur himself who loves pineapple on pizza, Ricky from Hockey World Order. What's up, my friend? I didn't know you early tonight.
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We got a lot to cover over here in the NHL. There is so much going on. We're getting to the nitty-gritty of the playoffs. But one of the things I got to talk about to start off before when we get started here, how many coaching and general manager changes that we have had in just less than 10 games to go in the season. Vegas hires Tortorella with 8 games left. Islanders one-up them by firing Waugh and hiring Pete DeBoer. And the Devils firing Fitzgerald, right, the general manager. So a lot of changes towards the end of the season here. So, Katsi, you're a former player. What does that do when you have so much turmoil and turnover, less than 5-10 games good to go in the season?
The Islander thing, I have no clue what they did there personally. I know Darsh is a up and coming general manager, has done a great job before in other places, but that one shocks me a little bit. Like, why wouldn't you just wait to see if you make the playoffs or not? And then during the summer,
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, and since then, right now, I'm looking at the standings. They're 3 points out now with 4 games to go. So,
yeah,
doesn't look good for the Islanders right now. But
no,
the part that bothers me the most about that, I'm going to get it off my chest. We hire another retread, Pete DeBoer.
Coach.
I'm a good coach, but he's been around how long and how many Stanley Cups has he got?
The good old boys club in the NHL strikes again.
What I'm saying here, Matt. I mean, Ricky. Again, it's the same old shit all the time.
I get it
all the time. And
the weirdest part is the next day he does an interview and he says, Patrick and I are still very close friends, and we will have played golf and have dinner this summer. Like, it's almost like it's a desperation move. And I'll be honest,
it is a desperation move, and I think it's a stupid one personally.
Yep.
Summertime is when you make that change. This late, listen. Everybody thinks that because that Lou Lamoriello hired Larry Robinson and fired Robbie Fatorik like late in the season that this is going to happen every time. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen every time when you make a change like that. Like, what? This is going to be the reason why the Islanders get in now? Really?
But you know what? Here's my thing. Did anyone think the Islanders would be this close to a playoff spot and hold a playoff spot for most of the year? So, in my opinion, I think Waugh did a very good job with the Islanders,
exactly.
To be 100% honest with you. And, obviously they struggled towards the end of the season, but I don't know if he deserves to be canned. Now, Fitzgerald, on the other hand, there are question marks if the Devils are going to fire Keefe. Fitzgerald, I can understand firing, but again, I just think it's kind of tacky not to let them finish out the season. I don't get behind that.
The Islanders especially didn't seem at all like a playoff team, right, Katsi? They weren't supposed to be anywhere near it this year.
No,
Schaefer made such a difference there.
But Ricky, they were in a playoff spot off and on right up till the last 2 weeks. Okay, so they're a borderline playoff team, and then you're going to fire the coach because he's a kind of tough guy to get along with or something like that. I mean, he got you that far. But the Fitzgerald thing's another one that bothers me too. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not, waving pom poms for him.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about it. We talked about this at the Olympic break. How many injuries did the Jersey Devils have this year? How many games did the Golden Boy play this year?
Well, you see what Jack Hughes is doing post-Olympic break? 20 games, 36 points. Jack Hughes is unbelievable.
Okay, but how many games did he miss?
25-30 this year.
Your goaltender missed a ton of games also early.
You understand what I'm talking about here? So everybody's all geared up for the Olympics, and we talked about it. And all these injuries in Jersey basically screwed that team.
Yeah.
That team should not be out of the playoffs. That team's got a lot of talent. They're a fast skating team. And yet there they are. They're done.
Absolutely.
So enjoy your gold medal, but watch the rest of the playoffs, Jersey.
And for my TikTokers, we are on the Instigators Hockey Show on YouTube. If you want to catch the full show, obviously you can tune in here as well. But listen, these coaching changes are crazy, but the playoffs are even crazier. We do have one official playoff series that is set in stone, one of the first 8 in the first round, and it is Dallas versus Minnesota. Now, who gets home ice? Still up for grabs. Right now, it would be Dallas. That is going to be one of the best first round series, in my opinion. And again, you might have 2 of the top 5 teams playing each other in the first round. Dallas versus Minnesota. Who we taking? I know who Kotze is taking. I got to hear Ricky. I'm going to give you the floor first here, Ricky.
I'm only going to say Minnesota because I said them all year long. Earlier in the season, I had them going very far. So I'm going to stick with my pick and say Minnesota. And I don't know. It's a toss-up series. And again, it's the NHL shooting themselves in the foot by having 2 of the best teams in the league have to play each other in the first round.
Dumb. That's all that is. And you know what, Matt? I'm not even going to make a pick anymore. You know why? I told you off and on. I don't trust either team. Every year we've been hearing about Dallas. Every year we've been hearing about Minnesota. And every year they come up empty. I know they've been to the conference finals, Dallas and all that stuff, but how many years in a row are they going to do that without winning something? And personally, you know what's going to happen here? Those 2 teams are going to beat the shit out of each other, no matter who goes on. Might not be ready for the next round.
Right.
They might be like soft for the next team they play.
I think it's going 7 either way between Dallas and Minnesota.
You think it's 7? They're going to be beaten up and not ready for the next round. Watch.
Minnesota's going to be a Trocheck short of advancing. Mark my words.
Well, they should have went all in. They went in for McCarron. I'm going to say Dallas takes it in 7. Obviously, that was my preseason pick, so I got to ride with Dallas. So I just like Dallas's team. I know they lost Sagan earlier in the year. I think they're more well-rounded. I think they have more playoff experience. I think it's going to be a very difficult series, and I just trust their goaltending a little bit more. I trust Ottinger a little bit more than the tandem. You know what they say when you have 2 goaltenders? You basically have none, because if you have 2 goaltenders that are kind of the same, you really don't have a starting. You'd rather have one surefire starter, and with Minnesota, you don't know who's going to start in net. I know Gustafsson, got Wallstead. That's kind of there's kind of a question mark. You know, at what point do you pull the other guy? So
they'll ride the hot guy. That's what they'll do. The first guy that starts, if he wins the game, they'll ride him.
Short series. How short is your leash? Guy gives up 3 goals in the first period of game 1. You're pulling him? You know?
I don't trust either team. I told you. Personally, just don't. And it's a dumb thing by the NHL. We talked about it. I want to bring that up again. How stupid is this playoff matching the way they?
It's got to go 1 to 8.
It is the dumbest shit I've seen in my lifetime in hockey. You're taking 2 teams that are arguably in the top 4,
right,
in the league. Arguably, you could argue it,
right.
And you're going to make them play in the first round. Well, a couple of wild card teams like Nashville, possibly, and some Utah, possibly. Don't have to play a Dallas or Minnesota right off the bat.
Well, look at the East. You got Tampa Bay is going to play either the Canadians or the Buffalo Sabres. And
that's
Buffalo.
That's real.
We're gonna dive into that a little bit too, because there's so many.
Bettman, get your head out of your ass and go back to 1-16.
I don't think they're going to do 1 through 16 because just logistics. I don't think they're going to want people to go.
They fly on private jets now. We didn't. They got their own jets with beds in them now.
But look what they did. Look what they did the last 2 years in the Stanley Cup Finals with Florida and Edmonton. That it was 3,000 miles away. It was the longest distance. They gave extra games. I'm just saying. That's what they're going to do.
It's a big wah.
That's what they're going to do.
It's not like they're getting on prop planes like Air Ontario like we did in Hartford and Toronto. It's not like, I mean, they're getting on these private jets that are better than your houses.
Right.
I mean,
we'll have to see how that goes.
I'll say this, Matty. I'm 55 years old. I was a product of the generation of 1 through 16, and it created rivalries that were not meant to be rivalries. After the series in 81, the Rangers and the Kings for the next 5 years was a major series. The Rangers and St. Louis Blues turned into a major rivalry for a couple years after playoff appearances. It's also just fair. You want to have a President's Trophy, right? Reward those guys.
Yeah.
Give them the 16th place team in the league for winning the league.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So there's so many interesting matchups right now. The Atlantic is something I think the Atlantic has caught up to the Central as being the best division in hockey. I mean, at least right now, you got Tampa, you got Buffalo, you got Montreal, all at 102 points. And Tampa has the tiebreaker because they have more wins than the other two teams. So right now, you're slated for Montreal and Buffalo in a first-round matchup. I think that's just as good, if not maybe even better than Dallas and Minnesota. There could obviously be some shuffling going on in the standings, but let's just talk about it. Buffalo, Montreal, if that series happens, who are you taking? Kotze, I'll lead with you.
I'm going to go with Buffalo. I've been telling you Buffalo all along. I know Rangers are giving them a hard time tonight, but Buffalo sent a message to Tampa the other night, Maddie. Just remember that. They sent him a message. You're not going to bully us around, and we're going to outscore you if we have to. So I'm taking Buffalo.
I know where you're going, Ricky.
Montreal Canadiens in 7.
I just can't do Montreal because of the hatred for them growing up in Ontario.
Oh, I hear you.
But they're Canadian.
I rode the Canadians early. I was the guy on the show that said they were.
Listen, I'm an honest person. That's a damn good hockey club.
The problem with both teams, untested goaltending. One of those two goalies is going to have to win a series. Edge and Fitz.
You know who's got the best goals against average since the All-Star break? Buffalo.
Rangers.
Buffalo.
Yeah. So I think the Atlantic is kind of a rock, paper, scissors right now. And what I mean by that is I think Montreal would beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo would beat Tampa. And I think Tampa would beat Montreal. That's kind of how possible. I think. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors where they would all beat each other. I think Tampa's slightly better than those other two teams just on playoff experience. If it turns into Buffalo versus Montreal, I'm leaning Montreal because of this, just a small fact that core had a playoff series last year. They lost to Washington in 5 games. So they got their feet wet with a lot of their younger players to get experience on playoff hockey. A lot of these guys in Buffalo, yes, they added some core key veterans and guys that have played playoff hockey elsewhere, but them as a team haven't played in the playoffs. And Kotze, when that puck drops in the playoffs, it's a totally different game. And I just think Buffalo this isn't their year in terms of the playoffs. They had a great regular season. I don't know. I know I'm going to get a little heat for that, but I think Montreal will beat Buffalo in 7.
I'll say this game tonight's going to kill them. If they lose this game, this puts them in a bad spot. They want to win this division.
Listen, as a Ranger fan, if the Rangers made the playoffs right now, they'd be a force to be reckoned with. They're beating all these playoff teams right now. You know what I mean?
And they got screwed against Montreal the other night. If anybody watched that game, you want to talk about guaranteeing a Montreal win with the penalties that were called in the third period. It was just blatantly obvious how bad.
Listen, I still think Buffalo's better than what you think, Matt. I think they're going to be a tough out for anybody, including Tampa. I really do. I just do. They're big, they're fast, they're strong. Listen, they're getting handled by the Rangers right now because the Rangers are playing better hockey. There's no question about it. But to me, Buffalo probably took this game a little lightly tonight, which they shouldn't have, which is the inexperience you're talking about. But they sure stepped up against that grizzled Tampa team the other night.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. They did. They slapped Tampa around.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the best time of year to be a hockey fan. That's all. I mean, everything we got right now coming down to the wire. Every goal, every check, every penalty means something in the last week of the NHL season. And that's what makes hockey great.
The Atlantic is going to be fun to watch. Let's slide over to the Metro real quick. So right now, you got Carolina versus Ottawa and Pittsburgh versus Philly. Battle of Pennsylvania.
Philly was going to be there.
They're playing some great hockey. Columbus is on the outside looking in. The Islanders are on the outside looking in. and Detroit is just falling apart in March once again. Do you think any of those teams on the outside looking in get in, or do you think we're looking at Carolina versus Ottawa and Philly versus Pittsburgh?
I think Pittsburgh will take Philly. That's my.
That's going to be a throwback series.
That's only because I'm going to go with your theory, Matt. Tried and true guys on that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're tried and true. Sidney Crosby is still an amazing hockey player at whatever he is, 39, 40 years old. I don't know how old the guy is now.
Yeah, it's going to be 39. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did anybody see the?
And I'll give Rick Tocchet a lot of credit. Rick Tocchet put his team in position to make the playoffs. Right now, they got the upper hand on everybody. They're in the last wild card spot, as far as I'm concerned. I think I looked at it today. I like Pittsburgh in that one. I think Carolina will probably beat Ottawa. I'm hoping not, but I think they'll beat Carolina. But Carolina along the way will lose like they always do in the playoffs.
That is the worst. That is the worst matchup for Carolina if they play Ottawa, because Carolina is not tough, and they'll get bullied by Ottawa very easily. Ottawa's very gritty and very. I think Ottawa takes Carolina out in 7. And you guys know, I'm a Carolina.
Remember Carolina picked up you know who though. Remember that, eh? Okay,
He doesn't.
You sit there.
Delorier.
Well,
Okay.
if he's on the ice, you think anybody from Ottawa is real pleased that he's on the ice?
I think
Ottawa would. I think Ottawa would.
You underestimate that stuff, Matt. You really do.
No, I think Ottawa would pay to have.
Handle him.
I don't think.
I think Ottawa would pay to have him on the ice because he's such a liability. I think the guy's.
Just have him in the lineup, Ricky. That's all I'm talking about.
I get it, Conti. Nobody loves hockey physicality more than me, but he's a detriment. He can't take a regular shift. And do you waste the spot in the playoffs with a guy like that?
Oh, okay, Lisa. Where did you send? Where did you send Ricky? I got to interrupt you now. Through what? Messenger. Through Messenger, Ricky, for the t-shirts.
Okay, I'll check it tonight.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we got t-shirts available. Katsy's Taco Shop.
Yeah.
Actually, we're selling a lot of them.
Mine.
Yeah, you got to give Hockey World Order a follow. He's got all t-shirts.
Hey, listen, we got to let people know the stand changed. It's no longer in Manhattan. It's in Broadway in Nashville now. So if you're looking to eat, you got to come to Nashville.
If you want to get tacos, they might be Greek tacos. It depends if you guys like them or not. You know what I mean? But I think Ottawa takes Carolina, and I think Philly and Pittsburgh. I mean, I think Pittsburgh wins that one.
I'm taking Philly.
Okay. I think Dan Muse. You know what? Dan Muse is coach of the year, in my opinion.
We're all talking through both sides of our mouth tonight. You know that, eh?
I hate Pittsburgh. I like Philly.
We're talking out of both sides, including me. I'm including myself on this because a little while ago you said that those guys had the playoffs experience, but now Carolina has no experience playing Ottawa. What's Ottawa played lately?
They made the playoffs last year.
They lost. You know what I mean. Like seriously,
Carolina, they made the playoffs.
Carolina is the Dallas Stars of the East. That's what they are.
Pretty much, yeah. But my issue with Carolina is this, and you can attest to this, Ricky, because you're in all the trade talks. You hear everything. What did anybody in the East do? The only team in the East that really loaded up was Buffalo, right? Outside of that, nobody in the East loaded up. Carolina still has an extra first from the Rantanen trade. They did nothing, and they have cap space. And what has been Carolina's glaring weakness in the playoffs? Once the Aho line doesn't score, they don't have secondary scoring. They didn't add anything to that. They added Delorier, which, woohoo, yeah, he can fight. But honestly, I don't see any team in the East really loaded up. A couple teams made a move here or there. But if Carolina was ever going to go in and win the East, they should have made a move, right, Rick? I mean,
it should have been an all-in year because this was a year they could have walked right through the East, plain and simple.
Walk through, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know.
I think they could walk through the East. They have the experience up front. They got a great defensive team, which you told us about all year long. They got a
DeAndre Miller anchors that defense.
DeAndre Miller anchors. He should have an anchor around his fucking neck. But they got a great coach. Yes. They got a great coach, and
Brendan Moore is the best coach in the league.
Listen. Let's just say one thing too. It's a different season. Kotze knows better than anybody. Columbus's goaltender got picked up off the waiver wire.
Yeah.
NHL playoff hockey, when you got to make a save in triple overtime, is a lot different than you got to make a save in a regulation game number 48.
Correct.
This kid's not tested either. That's a big shock to me that they didn't at least go out and get a backup.
He's a Long Island native. I can't hate him. Carolina's goaltender. Boosie's Long Island guy.
Yeah.
I can't hate him.
I love success stories like that.
I'm not big on Carolina going all the way, but
I never have been.
I still think they're good enough to beat Ottawa.
This could be a year that Pittsburgh makes the conference finals, and Crosby. If Crosby was ever going to win a fourth ring, this could very well be the year that Crosby.
Come on
sneaks
now.
in.
Now you're just kissing up to Kotze. Knock it off.
I'm not kissing up to anybody.
Oh my God. He can get a fourth
Time
ring.
out. Let's look at
He could get a fourth ring.
Let's look at this logically. Like, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, Ricky. Let's look at this logically.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay. Pittsburgh versus Philly. Is that a coin flip?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a realistic chance that Pittsburgh wins that series?
Yes, absolutely. I'd say it's
okay.
I'd say it's 60-40 Pittsburgh.
Okay. Pittsburgh versus Carolina. Could they beat Carolina?
No.
Okay. I disagree there. I disagree with that.
I say it's 80-20 chance and Carolina's an 80-20 favorite.
Absolutely not. Not that high. I think it's closer to 50-50 with Carolina. Absolutely not. Terrible. And they're going to lose to Ottawa anyway. So Pittsburgh was Ottawa anyway. All right. Then they're in the conference finals.
Who's Utah got to play?
Listen, we're gonna get to Utah and my Stanley Cup winning Utah Mammoth. But it's a coin. The path to the Eastern Conference Finals is there. Then they got to play one of the teams in the Atlantic. I'm not saying Pittsburgh will win the East. I'm just saying this is good. This is the year.
You just said they have a shot at a fourth ring. What do you mean you didn't say they win the Atlantic?
I'm saying they have a shot. Of course they have a shot. Any one of the 16 teams that get in the playoffs has a shot. But based on who they play, I mean,
could the Swan Song be the greatest thing in the history of sports with Sidney taking that team to another cup? That just, I don't even know how to say it, but that would just be the fairy tale ending to that career. He would just have to walk away at that point. I mean, it would just amazing.
Sidney Crosby doesn't need to do a damn thing about his legacy, but Pittsburgh, they've surprised me. I thought that they were old. I thought they were worn out. I thought the horses were, lame, but they're not. And they proved it a couple times this year where I've seen them go play teams that I'm thinking they're going to get slaughtered tonight, and they turn around and slaughter them. And I'm like, wow. And then I look at the score sheet, and there's Crosby, and there's Malkin, and there's Letang.
Kindle.
I mean, it's these guys that are all like 35.
Listen,
40
what a great job coaching also over there. You want to talk about
that's
a guy?
my coach of the year. You guys crucified me when I said that. Because you want to give it to Lindy Ruff in Buffalo. I think it's Stan Muse in Pittsburgh. I think
Lindy Ruff or Quenneville if he hangs on to that.
No, I don't think it's going to be Quenneville. I think Dan Muse is coach of the year.
Why? Where did Anaheim come from?
They have talent on that roster.
Where did they come from playoff wise? What experience did they have in the last how many years?
They did no, they didn't. Of course not. Of course not.
Many?
They didn't. You can say the same thing about Buffalo.
It's not like Pittsburgh had a bunch of duds on their team. You know what I mean? These guys won Stanley Cups.
I mean that's years ago.
Joel Quenneville and Lindy Ruff should be right there with anybody before you start with the guy in Pittsburgh.
They're veteran coaches for a rookie to come in and do what Dan Muse did on a veteran team.
But Joel Quenneville's leading his division.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Actually, sitting here for a minute and being quiet for the first time in my life, honestly, Anaheim really has been turned around by Quenneville. He's done an amazing job.
Damn right. He's a great
and they wouldn't be in the playoffs in the East.
The guy's won how many Stanley Cups?
If Patrick Waugh was the Anaheim Mighty Duck coach, he would have got fired at the All-Star game.
Probably.
And Lindy Ruff's another one that deserves as many votes. Trust me. Buffalo was dead in the water. They got the best record in the league since March.
Since they fired Adams.
Yeah.
Fired Adams.
I mean, it's a crazy coincidence, but man, somebody hated that guy, huh?
Yeah, and that's his team. That's his team. You're
not going to win, Ricky and Matt. You're not going to win anymore when it comes to like players don't want their coach or GM anymore. Players make too much money today.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. It happened a few years ago when a certain goaltender walked into the office in Manhattan, and next thing you know, this guy was fired. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So it's the way it is.
Wait, did Hank do that?
What's that?
Was that Hank that got somebody fired?
Maybe.
Him and a couple others.
There's a couple more series in the West I want to go into before we pivot here. Colorado looks like they're going to win the President's Trophy. There's really 3 teams still vying for that final playoff spot. Right now, Nashville is in. LA is 1 point behind with a game in hand. And San Jose has a couple points back with 2 games in hand. So, Nashville, LA, San Jose. Does any one of these teams even have a remote chance against the Colorado Avalanche, or are they just going home? Is Colorado just a shoe into the second round?
Okay.
Can anyone put up a fight?
I want to start this one.
Go ahead.
Nashville, absolutely not. Nashville would be overwhelmed 5-game series, if that. The LA Kings, 5, maybe 6-game series. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to play Celebrini. You don't want to play that team if they're putting the puck in the net. Will Smith's peaking right now. Celebrini is 1 3-point game away from breaking Gretzky's record for most 3-point games by a teenager in the history of the NHL. The kid is the new face of the NHL. He is going to be, by next year, all over the place. They are going to take this 19-year-old kid, and they're going to make him an NHL god. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see them beating Colorado, but I see them playing Colorado better than the other 2 teams possibly could on their best day. And let me tell you a little secret about Colorado. They better hope their goaltending stays on par because they are not that stacked in net. They have B-plus goaltenders in net, and the team in front of them wins a lot of games. I'll leave it at that.
And Makar is still hurt. Remember that. That. I mean, they say he might be back for the playoffs, but who knows? Kotze, San Jose, LA, and Nashville. Does anyone put up a fight against Colorado?
No, you said it a while ago. You got a chance. You got to play the game no matter what. I mean, there is a chance, but probably not. I think Colorado's proven it over the years. I mean, I think they're going to take care of business in the first round. But again, I want to talk about Celebrini. Ricky, you guys are spot on with him being a god, but there's only one way he's going to be a true god of the NHL is get him the hell out of San Jose.
Now let me ask you, do you just mean geographically? Do you just mean geographically, Kotze, or do you mean off the team? Because the team
I'm talking about geographically. We're talking West Coast stuff here. Okay. Only one player that has ever played on the West Coast, period, in the history of the game, that has been recognized as a super god, and that was Wayne Gretzky when he went to LA. That's it, Ricky. You can't name me any other guys that played in Vegas.
Connor McDavid?
Yeah. I'm talking the West, big boy. Western.
What is Edmonton?
Edmonton's not on the West Coast.
Well, it's in the West.
Yeah, did you learn geography in America? No, you didn't do that, did you? Talking about California has San Jose, they have LA, they have
Canada's just East Alaska.
Everything else, Ricky, okay? You have Seattle in the league now. You got Vancouver. That's the West Coast, not Alberta, okay? And nobody's ever undone Wayne Gretzky, but now Celebrini has his potential. But I don't think it's going to happen in San Jose, personally. It's San Jose.
Maybe.
Say what you want. It's not New York. It's not Chicago. It's not Toronto.
I mean, it is hard for 90% of the country doesn't let their kids stay up to watch West Coast games. I will say that. You're right. You know, even for me, getting up in the morning to go to work.
Amazing. You guys, Matt was on it from the beginning, okay? And I've since the beginning, I keep an eye on him now. I mean, the guy's an amazing fucking hockey player. And he's not even 20 yet.
You saw him in the Olympics. He played with
he's not even 20 yet.
But he played with McDavid and McKinnon, and he wasn't carried by either of those guys in the Olympics.
No, but he did. But you know what, Matt? Like, he wasn't. He wasn't. But It's like we're gonna get into with the Rangers. He kind of sat back a little more because it's McKinnon and McDavid. You know what I mean?
Right.
The guy's in a league of his own.
Hey, real quick, I just want to jump on with one of the comments here in the chat. Marcel Dion, Axel. Marcel Dion was a very, very, very good hockey player, but I wouldn't call him godlike whatsoever. And Rogi Vachon, Vachon's best days.
I got all the respect in the world for Marcel Dion. I played against him for a long time, and Rogie Vachon, I think I played again before he retired, but they're not in the same stratosphere as a
Not
Wayne
at all.
Gretzky.
Not at all.
They're not even a step below.
Listen, Yari Curry in LA was
the familiarity of the name worldwide. That's
It's
right.
not Lemieux, McDavid, Crosby. It's not even a conversation.
Right now, in the league right now, the worldwide, it's Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid.
Ovechkin, you're admitting it.
Well, yeah, well, I'm not dumb. There's too many idiots in the league that think.
Where does Connor Sherry fall on that list?
But you know what I'm saying? These are the names that are carry worldwide fame. Right now, Celebrini's not going to get that playing in San Jose. He's going to get it from the pure hockey people. No question about it.
I tend to disagree on that. To the original question, I think Nashville would actually put up the most fight over Colorado. I think it's a pretty veteran team that's been there, done that. And I think Nashville plays Colorado fairly tough. I think they would actually put Colorado to 6 games. Saros can steal the game. Colorado's goaltending could fall apart. I think it's not unrealistic to see Nashville go to 6. I think San Jose, the defense is just too sloppy. Colorado would run right through their papier-mâché defense. And LA is horrible. I know the Kings are fighting for a playoff spot. They have like 19 overtime losses, 28 losses. They are so far below 500 because of the loser point. Like LA has like 30-something wins. Like I think 20, 30 wins, and they're vying for a playoff spot.
I thought Panarin was going to give them the big jump.
It hasn't. It hasn't worked out that way. No, it has not. A couple more series we want to get to. We look at the Pacific side of the bracket. So Edmonton jumped up to leading the Pacific. They currently have a first-round matchup with Utah. Obviously, Leon Draisaitl is out. He's hurt. He might come back for round 1. Does Utah have any chance versus Edmonton without Draisaitl?
Again, everybody's got a chance, but I'll take Edmonton in that series. By the way, did you see that goal McDavid scored last night?
Unbelievable.
I just happened to turn it on at the moment that he got the puck.
Yeah.
And just lightning down the ice.
At any point in your career, did you do anything like that, even in like juniors or something?
See, I was, at the same time, I was talking to another good friend, Ron Greshner, at the same time. He picked up the same play at the same time I did. We were on the phone together. There's only one thing you can do. You can't hit him. He's too fast.
Hook.
You got to hack the shit out of him. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
There's only one thing you can do to him when he pulls a play like that. When he finally cut in front of the net, he would have got slashed by me. But today's guys don't do it.
No.
But not allowed.
Just to see how fast and how quick
the change of speed
too. Control the puck like it's slow motion in his head.
Such a shame. He'll still never win anything. It's terrible.
Incredible.
Terrible until he signs here in 2029.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Rick, you giving Utah any shot versus Edmonton without Draisaitl?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's a much closer series than what people think. I think it could be.
Utah's got some guys that can score. I know that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a lot of
Edmonton can't defend.
Scorers.
It really comes down to goaltending in that series. Plain and simple.
Yeah. 100%.
Matty, I got news for you. Stanley Cups are won by goaltenders, not by players.
Correct. 100%. That's exactly it. But I think I trust Utah's goaltending a little bit. I think Utah has better defense. I think Utah can score too. And without Draisaitl, I think Utah might actually have the better forward group. I know McDavid is otherworldly, but outside of him, if Draisaitl's out, I tend to like Utah's entire forward group as a whole over Edmonton's, to be 100% honest with you.
I think the Mariners have a legit shot.
I think they'll be all right, but I think Edmonton's just a little bit better, a little bit more fine-tuned. If you're going to beat them, you're going to beat Edmonton 6-5, like they did last night.
Which you might, because their goaltending is that bad.
That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to play their style of hockey, Edmonton, because Edmonton will make mistakes with that defensive core that they have.
Hit the over every game. One more quick series we want to get to in before we jump over to the Rangers. Last one, we got Vegas and Anaheim. They're projected to play each other in the first round. A couple of veteran coaches in Tortorella and Joel Quenneville. So we'll see what goes on here.
Where's my boy Paulie so I can give him the Torts business again?
I mean, Torts in there. Any shot Torts can take Vegas from being mid to at least getting at it to round 2.
Yeah, but why not? I mean, Vegas is not that far removed from a Stanley Cup. They kind of let down since then a little bit, I think, and they haven't had the greatest season as far as I'm concerned. But it's not like they're over the hill gang like Pittsburgh either. They're older, but they're not the over the hill gang. You know what I mean? So why not? I mean, they got a shot. And I'm going to use your analogy, Matt. Anaheim. They haven't been around in the playoffs lately. You know what I mean? So the experience there. But I think it'll be a good series. That one I think will probably go 7.
Okay. Who do you take?
I don't know who's going to win though.
Like, got it. Come on, be a little bold.
You're
gonna go Anaheim.
If I knew who's going to win, I wouldn't tell you.
Ha! All right. Rick, what do you think? Vegas, Anaheim?
Vegas.
Just here to elaborate?
I'll be honest with you. No, just a gut. And I love Anaheim. I watch all their games. I love watching the team. I love watching their stars. I love watching the kids with the additions of Kreider playing with their kids. But I just got a gut feeling that Tortorella is going to get him into a playoff spot, and it's going to be he's going to advance. It's just nothing more than a gut feeling. Nothing more.
That would make me roar if Torts goes all the way through gets to the Stanley Cup with Vegas.
What if he wins another cup, Torts? That would be amazing.
Crazy.
Only coach with an 8-game contract.
If he gets something to the Stanley Cup, then I'll change my mind. Torts for Coach of the Year.
Oh, man. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Speaking of crazy, we're going to dive into our New York Rangers, who are probably the hottest team in the league right now. Honestly, I wish this team could have done this in like November or December and play these guys.
Which we all called for, remember?
We called for it. And there's still some guys.
I wanted the youth movement moved 2 months before the trade deadline.
We all wanted it, but it didn't happen. So, Rangers are...
My favorite player is leading the way.
Yeah, Chernobyl, Kemlar, whatever you want to call it.
Connor Sheary, player of the month.
He's coming back next year. You know that, Ricky.
I'm glad you said that because it actually scares the daylights out of me. He won player of the month. I went back. He had 6 goals. 5 of them were not shots. They hit his body and went into the net. Good for him. They count.
Ricky.
They all count. They all count, But the one thing that's bothering me right now, and Natty, you know what I'm going to say. The fact that he has quit on Adam Edstrom after one bad game and he has not gotten back in the lineup now in 8 games. Yeah. That's disturbing to me with Sullivan. He praised him the week before, saying, oh, my God, Edstrom's playing a position he hasn't played since he was 16. He looks great. We're going to break him into this easy and see if he can handle the role. And he had one bad game and he's never played since.
Yeah, I agree. But is there any reason for optimism right now that for this New York Rangers team? Because they're playing pressure-free hockey right now, and then they're able to go out there and play some really, just go out there and do their thing and not have to worry about playoffs or maybe gripping that stick a little too tight because they're afraid to make a mistake. It's just go out and have fun. You're seeing guys like Sikora. You're seeing Kemlar. You're seeing all these guys playing really, really well. Can this translate to next season, or do you think come next season it's like, all right, we're just going to play our veterans again and,
I look at it. I'll be honest with you. I wrote down the players that I would bring back next year, and I'm going to read them off to you. Okay, I have to put my bulbs on.
Huh.
On defense, obviously Fox, Gavrikov, Schneider, Robertson, Borgen, Fortescue, and then between Moore and Iorio, I don't know. Okay, but they're going to be there in training camp. You're going to bring Zibbs back. You're going to bring Laffy back because Laffy is finally getting a chance to be Panarin and Kreider. He's being the focal point now for the first time in his whole career with New York. Trocheck, I got a question mark. Are we going to deal him or not? We don't know. But I got Miller coming back, Cooley, Perreault, Laba, Cartier, Helmash, there, Ricky instead of Chelmar or Chernobyl, whatever you call him. Sikora, and I got Edstrom and Rempe and Berard with question marks. Those are the guys you bring back next year. Now, to me, you need 2 players. You need a big, tough power forward that scores. I don't want him handling the puck. I don't need no more fancy Dan guys that pass across the ice, get intercepted, all that crap. We've had enough of that over the last 5 years. Okay? And I do want another defenseman that knows how to clean out the front of the net, because I see a lot of goals getting scored this year where the defenseman's with them, but they're not doing nothing to them. And the guy's banging one in off a rebound, banging it, like you said, Ricky, off the shins, whatever. It's called, you're allowed to move guys out still. And the Rangers don't do a good job at that in front of that. When you're in position to move a guy out, you need to move him out so the goaltender is unimpeded to make a save. And that's it. Those are the guys I bring back right now. And right now, Lafreniere, it's going to be one of those guys. He's going to come back and haunt a lot of people that hated his guts. I'm telling you. Well,
future Ranger Justin Tuck just scored to tie the game. But
there we go.
He's going to be a Ranger next year.
Alex Tuck.
I call him Justin Tuck from the Giants, but yeah, Alex Tuck.
That would actually be a good move, Ricky, because he's a big guy. He's got enough offensive.
He got cap space.
He does play a little bit of a slightly abrasive game, not overly. You know what I mean? And he'd be a good move. Got
cap space too. Got to spend it.
He's going to get some big money too. It's going to be like a 3-year deal, 12, 13 million a year.
You get more than that. You get more term than that. I'll tell you that right now.
Now you're starting to scare me. You're going to pay him 12, 13 million?
I don't pay him. Tati, I'll be honest with you. I'd take the kids and roll the kids. I'd roll the kids next year again with this same lineup. Get rid of Radish, get rid of Sherry, play Edstrom on a regular basis. You're going to have another high pick coming in here. You got kids that deserve a shot, and Rubrick down in the minors, who's going to come up here and anchor a 4th line for years. I would take one more year to continue the rebuild and just take a shot at the playoffs.
I'll tell you, your boy Helmash is going to be a really good player, Ricky. Like when I say really good, I mean, as a defenseman, he's about the only guy that can power his way around the defense on the outside. Nobody else in the Rangers can do that.
I love this.
He powers around them, and he's able to cut in front of the net. I think I repeated myself, but he reminds me of Gauthier, the French kid that they had a few years ago. But Gauthier could never finish. Helmash finishes once in a while. That's the difference.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love the Sikora kid too.
Yeah. Again, I got him on my list. Got him on my list.
He's not a bad player.
Those are the core guys you bring back. And the only question mark, like I said, I got question mark with Trocheck. Is he going to be trade bait or not? They're not going to trade Zibanejad unless somebody offers the world. Trust me. And
well, you know what's funny is the Sikora kid.
Edstrom and Rempe. I'd like to see them stick with the big club and maybe not play him every game. Rempe doesn't need to play every game. He just needs to be in the lineup for certain games. That's it.
I disagree there, but I just hope he makes it back, because I'm telling you from what I was told, it might be career over.
Oh.
It's crazy.
But I'll tell you what's impressive.
I had a question mark, Ricky. I got a question mark under his name. I got a question mark under Edstrom's name, and I got a question mark on Trocheck. Those are the guys I start with at training camp.
I got to just point out that Sikora has the same amount of fights in a New York Ranger uniform in 10 games than K. Andre Miller did in his entire career.
You're never letting this die.
Nope.
Never.
I hate him.
Never.
I'd punch him in the mouth right now. If he walked past me on the street, I'd punch him right in the mouth. I'd grab him by his afro and kick him in the teeth.
Oh, welcome to the Imstigators hockey show.
See a lot of them if he ends up playing Ottawa there, Ricky.
I haven't hated a Ranger since Willie Huber that much.
Buffalo just scored again.
My satellite went out.
Well, that helps the tank, right? But I look at this Rangers team, and I look at it like this.
Your boy Zucker, Ricky.
No.
That's
you
bad.
love him.
I'm not bringing it up.
That's one of the reasons why I hate him. I hate Buffalo. I can't root for Buffalo.
I look at it this way from this Rangers team, right? I think that this Rangers team is on the right track, but I don't trust this management. I don't trust your coaching.
They just scored again.
Oh, jeez.
No. I'm sorry. No, I'm behind. I just rewound the game.
4-3 4-3 Buffalo.
4-3. Nah. But back to my point. I don't trust the Rangers management. And I think you got guys like Vakaheinen. He's got another year term left. You got guys like Radish have another year term. You didn't even mention Parsonen, another year term. So you got these guys signed. I don't think they'll crack the lineup. But again, that's eating into some of the salary cap issues. I think Connor Sheary is still going to have a spot on this team when other younger players should be getting involved. And I know Connor Sheary has been scoring a couple goals lately, but he's been scoring all his goals after the Rangers have been eliminated. So I think I understand the nepotism aspect. I don't know if I trust this team going forward when the games mean something again. Because if we know anything about Sullivan is that he plays veterans, right? He will not play the young kids. The only reason he's playing the young kids right now is because we're eliminated and you got nothing else to do, right? So I don't know if come game 1 in October next season that you're not just going to go to a veteran-ladled lineup and just, I don't trust the coaching and the management. I think they're going to revert back to old ways, and they're going to end up playing a lot of veterans next year, starting game 1.
But Matt, I understand where you're coming from because they've proven that over and over again. But if they can't see clear now, they never will.
100%.
They'll never will.
We could tell in the first
there's
2
no
weeks,
way on earth, and I don't want to denigrate anybody that's played the National Hockey League because so few have ever played it when you think about it. But if a Connor Sheary comes back next year and a Radish comes back next year, you know what I mean? And Brzezinski comes back next year, they're not seeing it right then. And
I was just going to say, the second
or not, if you have to, you send them to Hartford. It doesn't matter. They did that with Wade Redden.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to. That's why you have to think about a trade in the middle of summertime for two players. Is it a tuck? Okay. One guy just said Desharnais. Another guy, I wouldn't mind having him on the team as a defenseman. You know what I'm saying? And then you let the young kids grow. They're growing. Lafreniere is finally growing. Okay? Perreault has a hockey mind that very few have. He knows where to be when he doesn't have the puck, and he knows where to go with the puck. You know what I mean? Like, let these guys grow. You can't bring in $1 million a year, $1.2 million guys that have played 10 years, 8 years, 7 years, and think you're going to be better. You're not going to be better. It's just going to be stagnant shit, the same thing over and over again. I agree. Plain and simple.
I tell you what, you'll know the definition of the New York Rangers 27-28 season, 26-27, the second you see the name Connor Sheary signs 1-year deal. The minute they sign that contract, it's like you just said, it's not going to change. They don't sign them. They don't bring them back. They're showing progression. I'd be real happy with that. But I don't care if this guy scores 40 goals in the last 3 games of the year. He should not be on a roster next year. And I have one other guy I have a beef with. I have never seen a guy get a more free pass on the New York Rangers since Keandre Miller than Will Borgen. Will Borgen is a terrible National Hockey League defenseman. He's supposed to be this tough guy who does absolutely nothing. He was on the ice when Laba got hit in Washington, and he skated past Wilson and yapped at him and didn't go near him. He takes more stupid penalties. He just took another stupid penalty, as I have a guy on blast right now. He is awful. He doesn't clear the front of his net. He chases the person behind the net continuously. There's no handoff with his partner when it comes to the guys in front of the net and exchanging. He is an awful NHL defenseman, and he does not belong on this team. He's not what they thought they were getting, and they immediately had to re-sign him to what?
What do you mean? Extension? He was scratched on Seattle. Like, Seattle was scratching him before we traded Kakko for him.
Right.
What'd you expect? What'd you think you were getting? Because, again,
I don't like him.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. But Chris Drury, again, short-sighted, right? We traded Kakko, which, again, I think everyone's okay with. But we signed this guy. He had a great first 8 to 10 games. So we said, hey, here's a 5-year deal. Then towards the end of last season and now this season, you're like, oh. Now, it's only a $4.1 million cap hit, but, again, you got him for 4 years after this one.
Yeah, but what has he got, a 28-team no-trade, too?
No, it's a modified no-trade. It's full.
But, again, but why? This is our point, right? Why did Drury have to give this man even a 5-team no-trade?
Ricky, Borgen, since he's come here, he's showed signs of being a decent, better than average defenseman to me. But I also think he's fallen into that trap that a lot of Rangers do in history. They come with a certain background, and then they get to Broadway and the lights. And now they think they are slicker hockey players now. They're going to handle the puck more now. We're going to do a little bit more, I'll do a little spinorama behind the net, reverse passes. All Borgen needs to do, seriously, is just keep it simple.
Yep.
When you keep it simple, that's the way my career was. Simple. The only time you're going to notice me is when I had a fucking bad game. That's when you're going to notice me. Because every game was the same. I did the same thing all the time. I didn't take the chances. I couldn't stick handle like, Jaromir Jagr or Wayne Gretzky or anything like that. I knew I couldn't do that. So I played the same way, game in, game out. When I had a bad game, everybody goes, wow, there he is. But Borgen's fallen into that trap where all of a sudden he thinks he's a playmaker, not just a defenseman. And Schneider's done the same thing.
Yeah, I've had it with Schneider. I'll be honest with you. I defended Schneider. I think I'm over him.
He thinks he's a playmaker like Fox now. Schneider's got a great shot, and I got no problem with jumping into the play and taking shots and stuff like that. But he shouldn't be rushing the puck up and down the ice. He's not that good at it. But this is what happens in New York, Ricky. It happens to everybody. They come with a certain background, a certain pedigree, and they try to up it a little bit, and then it doesn't work out in the end for them.
I was wondering which one of your friends got in Will Cooley's ear this last week, because he did everything you've been yelling at him to do for the last 6 weeks.
Well, it doesn't take that much, Ricky. You know how you figure that out? Well, they gave me a shot at being the number one winger. Now my ice time's getting a little short. I better go back to what I was, because that's how it works, Ricky.
Absolutely.
That's what again. Like I don't want to harp on it, but Lafreniere is thriving now because he doesn't have a Chris Kreider to be behind. He doesn't have a Artemi Panarin to be behind. Right now, there's no winger on the team better than Lafreniere when it comes to offense. Fact.
Maybe Perreault, maybe.
Perreault's going to be a great player. He's going to be a playmaker more than a goal scorer. Trust me. He'll be helping guys score goals.
He had a hat trick too.
But I'm just giving you the what fors here now.
Right.
And Cooley probably understands it. In order for him to continue his career and get big money after this last contract, he's got to be a solid 25, 30 goal scorer, but he's got to play tough. He's got to play physical. And he's got to jump in there when he's supposed to and not shy away. He's the guy that's capable of doing it up front. There are certain guys that are capable of doing it, and they're not doing it on a consistent basis. You don't need a Sikora fight. You don't need a Laba fight. Mind you, Laba should learn how to fight a little bit, Ricky, don't you think? Somebody should have a little
I was going to say this towards the end of the show. The New York Rangers had 4 fights in a 2-game period, and I think they landed 1 punch.
But they
Cooley
dropped
swung and missed like 4 times, but he did land 1. What's his name? Cartier didn't land a thing. Sakura didn't land a thing. And Laba looked like Mark Stoll.
But let me ask you though, Ricky, are those the guys that should be doing that?
No, but 100% impressed that they did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Because I don't see Captain USA doing shit. Okay? I don't see him coming into a scrum and doing anything except putting his arms up and pulling somebody off the back. You want to lead this team? Why did he fight in the World Cup of hockey? Why did he drop the gloves 3 seconds into a game? Where is that fire right now as a New York Ranger? Where was that fire halfway through the season when we're getting shut out at home every game? Where was that? Where's that emotion? Why do I care more than the captain of the team? That's what I want to know.
It is what it is, Ricky. I mean, I still don't think he's 100% healthy. I don't for some reason.
But is he healthy?
I don't think they're going to tell you. I don't think they're going to tell you. I don't think that you're ever going to find out because I'll give you a good example. I was all over Scott Gomez years ago with Paulie D on this podcast, and then I got to go meet Scotty Gomez up in Alaska, and he told me he played with a fractured ankle the last half of the season. And then as an ex-player, when a guy tells you that, you got to believe him. You know what I mean? So that it was understandable why he didn't play well, but he played through it. So I think Miller's not 100% healthy. I really don't.
Well, he's gonna have plenty of rest come the off season. But
he's gonna have to work his ass off, get in really good shape, and come to camp with his body refreshed.
Right. But speaking of the off season, Ricky, you mentioned before you think we should do one more year of kind of like a retool where you don't necessarily go to try to be a Stanley Cup contender. Do you think this Ranger offseason will be boring, or you think they're going to make some impact moves?
Okay, so I'm going to say this. Where did you hear Austin Matthews to the Rangers for Fox Plus first?
You.
Right. Anybody catch that Mike Rupp was talking about it on NHL radio a couple days ago?
Well, they were talking
word for word.
They've been talking about it in Toronto for 3 weeks now.
Word for word that Austin Matthews wants out. The perfect fit would be the New York Rangers, although he said that, more of a West Coast team is probably realistic. But the Rangers have the pieces in between, a package somewhere between Fox, Cooley, Lafreniere, and plus, not all together, but a rotating package of those guys, with Fox being the centerpiece. And basically said, Fox is out of here. So I think Matthews is the one and only. Brady Tkachuk's not coming here. Not happening. Austin Matthews, we have a shot of getting, and I would do anything in our power to get him here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Austin Matthews would be a total game changer. I mean, especially if you look down the middle, where you could have Matthews, theoretically JT Miller, Zibanejad, and Trocheck all playing center. Now, it would take a haul to do it, but if you're ever going to get Austin Matthews, this is the year to do it. Because, honestly, Austin Matthews is having a very down year. And you know what? If you're ever going to do it, you gotta do it this year.
No, I don't know about that one, Ricky. When Austin Matthews is healthy, he's one of the top 5 players in the league. But I'm worried about what you said there. When you say a package deal, what's it going to be? Like, if it's Fox and draft choices, I'm okay with that. If it's Fox,
Laba, and say a number 1. You do it?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Fox, Laba, and Green Tree. Do you do it?
Yes. 100%.
Fox, Laba, and your top 10 pick, whatever falls in this year. You do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't want them like all of a sudden adding this young guy and this young guy, and then draft choices and draft choices.
Until a player comes out of junior and has 3 NHL seasons, I'll always think of Pavel Berendel. To me, a guy's not proven until you get 3 good years out of him when he comes out of junior hockey.
Well, yeah, but that goes back to lousy scouting that the Rangers have done for 100 years. Okay, think about it. We can go down the list here again. They have not done a good job of scouting in the last 30, 40 years. You know that, right?
Oh, I do.
Terrible job. I don't know.
Scouting
Like
and
I said,
development, not our
Matthews,
strong point.
Matthews. The other problem you're going to have is if you do get him, then you just mentioned it, Matt. You got a bunch of centers that are want ice time now. A lot of ice time.
Also, the name to keep an eye on under the radar, Mason McTavish.
Yeah, that would be a great move.
We have a long.
Well,
I would love Mason McTavish.
There's something going on with him there with Quenneville, and there's.
We're losing you, Rick.
I think they have to be really careful if they're going to make a big move like that. They have to be careful and not give up too much of the parole and stuff like that. Should not.
No,
be
parole and Lafreniere, you shouldn't really trade.
Should not be involved, and that's what I'm afraid of. That they'll put guys like him in. And this Green Tree guy, regardless what you guys think, this guy's dominating in the OHA. Okay,
he's older than most of the guys.
They don't care. He's lead. He's
okay.
The guy's got a zillion points, which means he knows how to score. Okay, he knows how to score.
Well, listen, I think if you do get a guy, if you do make a splash for an Austin Matthews, I think you take the pressure off him at center, put him on the wing, and let him just be a goal scorer because that's what you need. That's what this Ranger team needs, being a sniper. But Ricky, you kind of cut out there about Mason McTavish. One more time. I don't know if the audience.
Well, I'm just saying, under the radar, there's a lot of talk about him wanting to come out of there next year, and the guy I 100% would want in New York.
Ricky, that all depends on how they do in the playoffs. You know that.
Well, I think you take a chance on guys who are locked up with term, where you don't have to worry about a contract. Mason McTavish just signed a 7-year deal. Austin Matthews has term. So if you're going to trade for a guy, at least you know you have him. I mean, listen, I'd like Mason McTavish. The cost would be a lot less than Austin Matthews. But, I mean, hey, I think it would be very Ranger-esque to go for the big fish in the offseason. Do I see it happening? I don't know. Do I want them to keep the youth movement? Probably not, because I feel like this youth movement is nice, but outside of Perot, I don't really see any top 6 guys out there. Maybe Green Tree, maybe, but I see him more as a middle 6 than a top 6. But so I think they do need that elite talent. I mean, I'd love to get a guy like Austin Matthews. I just don't know if it will actually happen.
Can you imagine putting Helmash with Zibanejad and Perot right now? See how many goals he would score? I'm serious.
He got some time with Trocheck.
He needs the opportunity to play more. That's the problem he's going to have. Because right now, Lafreniere is the man. Okay?
I mean,
you got it. He's got. I think he's got potential to be a 25-goal scorer. Helmash. I really do.
I mean, you put, let's just say you get Matthews, you're probably gonna have to give up a Cooley, you're probably gonna have to give up a Lava.
I'm okay with that.
But
I'm okay with that.
You might give up a Fox too. You might have to take Morgan Riley's contract back.
Cooley's a Toronto boy too, so
that's what I'm saying. You might have to take like a Morgan Riley's contract back too, and you know, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to trade Matthews, you're going to have to take a bad contract too.
If it was five years ago, Morgan Riley, I'd say yes, but not now.
I'm just saying that. So do you do Fox, Laba, and Cooley, maybe a first round pick for Matthews and Riley?
I would do that.
I mean, I don't think that's a
Matthews.
Bad
Listen, Matthews is not going to be shy in New York if he ever came there. If he ever comes there, because he's already playing under the biggest headlights, sports-wise, hockey-wise, in the world. There's no bigger news, sports coverage of hockey than there is in Toronto and Montreal. Trust me.
He has a full no move.
New York is big too, but not like them when it comes to hockey.
Right.
So it's not going to bother him there to have 15 people bugging him in his stall all the time or something like that.
I mean, and I think he'd actually flourish here. And I mean, listen, I think he would do really, really well in New York. And could he be the guy to bring a cup to the Rangers? I truly think if you get Austin Matthews on this team, you can go to a cup contender pretty quick. Now, I don't necessarily want to ship Fox out because Fox has been playing some amazing hockey, but
That he has. I'll admit it.
Offensive hockey. No, he's been playing offensive hockey.
Yeah.
He's still
yes,
disgusting in his own zone.
Who's running your power play if Fox is out? Because then it's a whole other issue. It's not going to be the same. You saw how dreadful.
Listen, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, I watched Adam Fox since he came to the Rangers. He is a wonder kid when it comes to offensive ability on the power play. Okay, and if you need scoring down the stretch of a game, you obviously got to use it. But in tight situations where you're protecting a lead, I see no reason to have him on the ice. Right. Honestly, I don't. He's not big enough, not strong enough to handle the grind along the boards, the grind behind the net, the grind in front of the net. And he gets beat outside a lot.
He's not fast.
But offensively, they ain't got anybody better than him right now.
Listen, there was a stretch of the season where they went over 30 when he was out on the power play. The power play was brutal without him. But don't underestimate the quarterback on the power play. He's very, very important.
He's got great vision. I mean, he's always had that. And his little deeks and his little shoulder things like this that he does, people skate right by him now when he ducks his shoulder, ducks his head. I mean, he's got some kind of ability when it comes to eluding when he's on the offensive side of the puck. But when it comes to the defensive side, I don't want him on the ice.
All right, gents. Yeah, I mean, I think next show the season's over, right? For Rangers season, over, right? Well, Rangers season is over. I'm saying next show.
And I've already confirmed that Ron Duguay will come back on for the playoffs.
Get us Greshner. I want to speak to Ron.
We are seeing.
I'll get him on too. But see, we got to get him on. When we get him on, we got to make sure he's well rested because he goes to bed early now. He's an old guy.
I love Greshner. Nobody's got better stats than Greshner.
Listen, I'm one of them now too. I mean, I'm right there with Gresh and Doogie and Vickers.
So listen, we got what 3 games?
Hey, Cutsy, how's your relationship with Barry Beck?
It's pretty good now. But he's in China. Ricky.
Yeah, he's done a couple interviews for me. I was just wondering if I would ask him to come on, if he would come on and tell some old stories.
We had him on a long time ago on China time. Like it was like 8 o'clock in the morning over there, and Paulie D and I were at nighttime. We had him on.
Pretty crazy.
He was driving to work in his car on a phone, I guess, at the time.
That's funny. So listen, fellas, we got 3 games left. The season's done probably next week. Is there anything you're looking forward for this Ranger team over the next 3 games? Anything you want to see that you haven't seen?
Lafreniere to continue to stay hot. I want to see Hamelish get some second or third line time. And I want to see Perreault continue to develop, and I'll be happy. I don't care if they lose by 10. If the kids are playing and they're looking like they're becoming regular NHL players like the first couple steps have been, I'll be happy with the way the season ended.
As bad a season as it's been that I'm sure the brass didn't expect, there is positive the way they've been playing it with the youth movement. I see this a plus side for them now. Guys are learning how to play in the NHL. They're learning the ins and outs. I mean, Lavic dropping his gloves with somebody finally, that's a learning experience for him about dropping his gloves. You know what I mean? Sikora, same thing. Perreault, Sikora. These guys all gotta play. They gotta play to learn the game. They gotta learn how fast the game is, how quick you gotta be at the spots. And this is the only way you do that is by experience. And they're doing the right thing right now, except for Edstrom.
And Brent Berard is in the doghouse. I don't know why Sullivan doesn't like him. That guy never got a chance really this year. But
I'm going to laugh in a year from next season when Rempe's running them through the boards as an Islander or a Washington Capital, because I'll guarantee you somebody in the division signs that kid when we don't.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening. But listen, I think they just need to keep playing hard. I hope they lose every single game 6-5 in regulation here, and you can get
Yeah,
some
that's the
scoring.
only thing. I agree with you, Matty. I'm looking at the standings now, and from one day to another, it's like 4, then it's up to 6, back to 5, back to like. Ugh.
They were bottom in the East, and now Florida and Toronto are tanking hard. They're about to pass them, but hopefully we can stay in that spot. The best thing
What do
for
we have? 5 now, Matty?
5, I think. Yeah.
So we
But you
still
wanna know what?
legitimately have a shot of getting in the top 3.
Yeah, the Islanders have pick 10.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
All
We have a
right.
special guest.
I think the dog just told us the show's over.
Yeah, well, he's blind. He can't even see you guys. So that's Axel. Everybody say hi to Axel.
Axel, what's up?
Kotzi's a big dog guy.
Oh yeah, you want him, Bernedoodle?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It'd be an appetizer for my 2 dogs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's scared.
I got 160, 70-pound dogs, and there's
I
2.
wanted one. He's scared of like a little like 10-pound dog. He's scared
The
of.
funny part is right now, if I could take a picture, they're upstairs in bed, laying down in our king-size bed with my wife watching TV. They're sleeping away.
All right, gents. It's been fun. It's a good show tonight. Thanks everybody for hopping on. And we'll see you next week. We're going to do some playoff previews. We're going to know pretty much every playoff series by then. We'll have some predictions, and we'll recap the Rangers season. Thanks for jumping on, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys. All right. Good night, guys. I'm going to bed.